Hi there, I'm Mark and welcome to Book-ramble, and this one is about bibliotherapy. I had no idea this book even existed until I found it, and it's a beautiful little thing. It's by Molly Masters, Books to Guide You Through Every Chapter of Life. And it's just one of those beautifully put together little pieces or chapters I should say, to do with how books can help you through difficult times. And in fact, it talks about how books heal the individual. When I get that feeling, I need textual healing. So it's original artwork, which I applaud. This one here is a note on poetry, and I'm not going to go into that specifically here, but for instance, it will be in various chapters, and this one's confidence and courage. And if I look at the contents, you can have a look at there. When adulting begins, empowerment, all the way down to feeling directionless. And it will give you lists of books that you can read. I'll just read out the blurb. Through turbulent times, stories keep us afloat. Books particularly console and guide us, feed our souls and open our eyes to worlds, possibilities and experiences we may never have considered before. And this is the key phrase here that really got my attention. Many of us have been self-medicating with books for years without identifying the practice as bibliotherapy. I find that so interesting. So just randomly, I went to, like I said, 14 at the end, feeling directionless. It goes through what that means, and it will give you some key texts that, according to Molly Masters, you should be reading. For instance, Letter to My Daughter by Maya Angelou, Life of Pi by Jan Martel, Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. And as I went through them, I thought, yeah, that's perfectly well-curated list. So The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, great book. Catch It in the Rye, J.D. Salinger, and so on. It's a really well put together book. But for myself, it's really just to talk about the idea of bibliotherapy. If I was to show you the books that I'm currently about to talk about, and I've got lined up on my table, I wonder if it actually says to the world that, I'm going for these books because they are helping me heal something that's internal. Is that true? Is that really the case? So in other words, are we drawn to certain books because they are subjects or themes that we feel we need to explore internally as a form of textual healing? I don't know if that's true, but I find it very intriguing. So let's just go through the current list that I have. And in effect, what I'm showing you are the upcoming episodes that I'll be doing. This big beast, I'm not going to be talking about the complete works of William Shakespeare, but in this wonderful old book, 1948, I find the title amazing. I'm going to have to look this up. The Growing and Perpetual Influence of Shakespeare. And why is Shakespeare so influential? It could be, for instance, what Virginia Woolf said, that he's one of the unique, probably only writer that we know of that obviously could write as well for men as women. Shakespeare is influential because of the consistency and so on. So I'm not sure that answers that question or that statement about we read to heal. So let's go on to the next one. Don Quixote. Am I reading Don Quixote because this guy is slightly detached from reality? Do I need healing on that? I don't know. Possibly. I'm going to be talking about this one that I've had a lifelong love with. The set by Patrick O'Brian. It could be the fact that I'm slaking this thirst for the sea, even though I walked away from the Navy some time ago. Could be that. Might be some bibliotherapy there. Seeking adventure and daring do. Slaughterhouse 5. I'm not a time traveller. Well, according to the book, we all are. Could there be some healing there about dislocation? What is life? What does it mean? Could be. Now, I know somebody will be watching. Philip Hall, Fume. Really liking this one. It's his poetry. Hello, Philip. And it's really, I'm intrigued by the start, the bad debt. I don't want to talk about it now. I'm going to do an episode on it. But he got involved with a group of people that is the other side of the country from where he originates, and how he settled in. I'm similar. I've gone the other side of the world from where I grew up. Is there similar kind of need to have therapy about certain things? Slight dislocation? Could be. Boethius, The Consolation of Philosophy. I think this is the closest potentially to saying there's some kind of healing with a book. Because this guy, he faced the ultimate end. He was put into exile, then he was executed. While he was awaiting that terrible punishment, he wrote about why is it that good people suffer and bad people do well, and so on and so forth. There could be some healing therapy in that. And works of Oscar Wilde. It's The Picture of Dorian Gray. Intriguing book. This has taken me a long time to read. I had it down there and I said, look, I've got to get on with this. There's an interesting part of this story in which, if you know it, and I don't want to give spoilers, so move on. If you know the story, Dorian meets Sybil, a young Sybil Vane, who it's found has passed on. And at that point, we know that the picture of Dorian is changing. He's almost like he said to the world, I want that to, get old and show all my inner thoughts while I don't change. I don't lose my handsomeness as I get older, that kind of stuff. It's almost like Oscar Wilde is saying, isn't that what we all crave? To remain youthful, playful, have a life, but not have it shown on our features and so on. Perhaps there's something in that. When I picked up the book at the time, I didn't think that was what I was thinking about. This one, again, I'm reading this, The Great Book of Amber. It's a massive book, but there's many books in here. I'm just reading the first one, 9 Princes in Amber. Different world. There seemed to be this backbiting family and so on. It's a bit of an adventure, so on. It could be. I don't think the authorial intent of Molly Masters and this is to say every book you choose refers to this, but I think it's really intriguing. Books to guide you through every chapter of life. What do you think? Do you get books for such? So let's randomly choose chapter 4, First Loves and Great Loves. Well, obviously that would happen to nearly all adults. What does Molly Masters reckon you should be reading? Well, The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, Open Water by Caleb Azumar Nelson, and the curated list of fiction and non-fiction, Emma by Jane Austen, Ordinary People by Dana Evans, Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, I Captured the Castle by Dodie Smith, and so on. So, if you were to look at your shelves and look at the amount of books that you have and what they are and what style, is that saying something about you? And that you are hankering after something but not realizing it. So it's an interesting thing, and I'm going to enjoy getting to know this book better. So I'm glad I found it. It's nicely put together, some lovely artwork. Yeah, good. So there you go. Bibliotherapy. Ta-ta for now.